when we got Attorney General Bill Barr for an interview, we interviewed him
Boy,
twice.
was that a nice one.
Yeah. But I had a running list of questions for him long before he said yes, because I was just always hoping that he would say yes to me eventually.
Right. I feel like interviewing Bill Barr, it's like interviewing, I don't know, charcoal. Like he's just this like there's no, you would say that. That is something you would say. It's so matter of fact. And you have to protect yourself, I would imagine. I sometimes get very emotional when I'm doing those, but I notice you're able to not take the bait of the moment. You stay on what you're doing. Trump can say, that's a dumb question. Nobody watches you. But you don't seem to take the bait. Is that something you have worked on, or is that something that is part of your personality?
I truly don't think there's anything that the president could say to me that would really surprise me, because I'm so familiar with, kind of his tactics or how he is. I mean, he did this at our town hall. This happened before when he kicked me out of an Oval event, when he wouldn't let me go to any other events at the White House because he didn't like the questions asked in an Oval Office event. It's often a tactic, I think, and a deflection tactic in terms of not wanting to answer the question. And so, I also think that as a reporter, you kind of have to go into these moments prepared for anything. And if you really are, and you're not expecting to be treated super nicely and for them to call on you and everyone to, wait for you to get your question out and assume that you're operating in good faith. If you go into it kind of ready for that, then, nothing can really throw you off. And I think truly also you'll have to remember, what are you doing there? You're there to ask a question. I'm not there to get in a back and forth with the president about, ratings or my credibility or whether he likes me or doesn't like me that day.
Right.
The point is, because that's a distraction from asking about the person who, the administration admitted was wrongly deported, and what are they doing with that? And so I think that's always kind of just my goal is to not get thrown off of what I'm going in there to do, which is my job.